Hello everyone, welcome to the brand new session of React Native Tutorials 2020 by UA Studios. My name is Usaid Athar and I'll be your instructor for this tutorial. What we will build in this tutorial, we will create a simple note-taking app using the React Native Context API. What is context? Context is basically a state management API which helps to manage the state more easily and more convenient. Like in past we have Redux, which was a third-party library to maintain the states. Now we have a context API from the React. What we can do in this app, we can create a new note by clicking at the add a new note. Right, then we can give a title. So let's say note 1. Then we have a description. When we click on this check button, it will add into our node listing screen. Right, we can add multiple nodes here. Node 2, then we have node 2 description. We can, as you can see, we can add multiple nodes as well. We can delete this node by clicking at the cell. Before we start, I want you guys to subscribe to UA Studios by clicking at the bottom right corner of your screen so that you won't miss any new upcoming tutorial from UA Studios. I hope you guys have subscribed to UA Studios. Let's begin by creating a new React Native project using Expo. So go to terminal and type Expo init. Here select blank, then give it a name. We will building note taking app. Note, let's name it note app with Redux. So it will take few minutes. I will get back when it gets installed. React Native project set up successfully. Now navigate to the note app, cd note app. Then we have to install these dependencies for React navigation. So let's install it. I will share all these dependencies in the description, so you don't have to worry about it. Install. It will take few minutes, so I will get back when it gets installed. Okay, npm. npm installed React navigation. Just a render. Then we have npm install save React navigation stack React navigation tabs. Now it gets installed as well. Now open the project into Visual Studio Code. This is app.js file is the entry point of your project. So now we have to set up React navigation. So create a folder with the name of source. Then we have to add nodes. Give it a name view nodes. View nodes.js. Now start implementing the boilerplate code for view nodes.js. Import React from React, then import style sheet, comma view from React Native, then import text from React Native paper, then function view nodes, here return view, inside another view, Then we will have text, and for text we will write you do not have any nodes. That's right. Then create styles for these. Constant styles equals style sheet dot create container okay flex 1, then background color F, then we have padding vertical to 10, then padding horizontal 10, this to be 20. Right, now we have this title container. Here align items center, then justify content to be center as well. I want everything in center. Flex equals 1, it will take complete height of the screen. Right, after that we have this title, font, and the font size for the title would be 20. Right, now at the end we will write export default view nodes. Now save this file. Now move this view nodes into the source file, create another folder with the name of screens, and then move this view nodes into the screen folder. Screens, then move it inside the screen. Right, now create another folder with the name of navigation. Navigation, and inside this navigation create index.js file. Right, now write all the code we need for the React navigation. So create app container from React navigation, then import create stack navigator from React navigation stack. Right, then import view nodes from screens oh, view nodes. Okay, we need to move this into the screens folder. I just change these folder setting. What I did, I created a new folder with the name of source, then I create another folder with the name of navigation. Inside this navigation I have index.js file, then inside this source folder we have another folder with the name of screens, and in screens I will put all the screens. So now in the index.js file import screens view nodes. Right, then create constant stack navigator equals create stack navigator, right? Inside it, view nodes screen into view nodes, right? Then we have initial route name. I want view nodes. Then I don't want header, so I will provide header mode none, right? Then export default create app container and pass stack navigator, right? Save this file. Now go to app.js file and here remove all these code and start implementing react react, then import provider as paper provider from react native paper, then import app navigator from source navigation, right? And export default function app and return paper provider and then app navigator. Save this file. Now go to the terminal, navigate to project directory, then type expose start to start the server, right? So it will take few minutes, then we will good to go with our project. So it will take few minutes. Now run on iOS simulator. Okay, to resolve this error we need to add index here. Save this file again, then run your project. Okay, now we need to add a dependency react native save area context. So go to the terminal, or you can go to the Visual Studio Code terminal. Then I have this copied text for to install this dependency. It will take few minutes. Okay, now save this file again and then run your project. As you can see, this text is going above. We will look into it later on. So we have added the text. The text was showing up because we forgot to add styles to the view nodes class. So let's add the styles. We have style equals styles dot container, right? Then we have style equals styles dot title container, Then inside this text we have sorry, style equals styles dot title. Right, save this file again and run. You will see you do not have text notes, any notes title in the center. Now create another screen which will be news, which will be add notes screen. So inside the screen folder create add notes.js and start typing the boilerplate code. So import react from react, then import style sheet comma view from react native, then text import text from react native paper, then create a function with the name of add nodes, then here return a view, this is same as the view nodes, so copy this and paste it here. Now below export default add nodes, right? And the text would be simple add nodes model screen. Save this file. Now go to index.js file. Here import add nodes from screens, then add nodes, then here add nodes, screen add nodes, right? Now mode model, save this file. Now add floating action button into the add nodes class. So here add FAB floating action button, then add in here fab style equals, I will add style later on. So I want this button to be small, icon would be plus, then label would be add a new node, then on press, I want navigation. Okay, so okay, I've actually we need to add this FAB floating action button into the view nodes. So we need to replace these code into the view nodes code, right? So here FAB, right? Then copy all this, paste it here, right? We need to pass navigation as a prop, then navigation dot navigate into the add nodes, add nodes, sorry. Then we need to add style for this FAB. Here add fab. Then we need position to be absolute. So position to be absolute. Then margin to 20. Then we have right to be 0. Then bottom to be 10, right? Save this file and add if I want to give background color. Now if I want to give a background color, I have this color code, it's green color. So let's add this, save this file, save this add nodes file, then run this project again. You will see add a new node with the green text color. If I click on add node, it will open add nodes model screen. Now we will create a header component. So go to the source folder, create another folder with the name of component. Then here add another file with the name of header.js. This now start implementing the boilerplate code. Import react from react, then import, we have view style sheet from react native, right? Then we have app bar, title from react native paper, then create function in the name of header with the title text. For this app we will only show the title in the navigation bar, so we will only passing the title text as a prop, right? If you need more things like action button at the left side and navigation button at the right side, you can pass the button as well. Currently I don't need that, so I am only passing the title text. Then return here app bar dot header style equals styles dot, let's create style first. Okay, so constant styles equals style sheet dot create header container. Here we have background color. Let's give it this black color. Then we have container style, container flex 1. Okay. Flex 1 will justify content to be in center, then align items to be in center as well. Then we have title. Here give a title color of white, right? Then at the end, export default header so that it will be exported whole as a component, right? Now add these styles to the view component. So here add style equals styles dot header container. Inside this we will have a view which will consist of title. So style equals styles dot container. Then inside the view we will have title. It will consist of style equals styles dot title with the text of title text. Now little bit of indenting. Save this file as well. Put this header into the view nodes and the add nodes class. So let's add first into the view nodes class. Import header from component header. Now add inside. Now add this above this view. So header right, and the title text would be let's name it simple note taking app. Save this file. Similarly we will be using this in add nodes. So here type import a header from component header, then add here title text. This should be add a new note. Save this file and run again. Okay, now this header should be inside any view, so we will add an empty tag like this, then like this. Similarly into the view nodes class, now save all these files, add nodes and view nodes, and run again. You will see a navigation bar header with the little bit black color, light black color, and add a new note with the navigation bar in a black color. Now in the add note screen, we will have a note title with note description. So let's implement that into, we need to pass a navigation prop here in the add notes constructor. So navigation, then we will use a use state react comma use state here. Then we will create two states, one is for the title and the other one is for the description. So constant here note title comma set note title. Then we have this use state, initial value would be empty. Then we have constant note description comma set note description and its initial value with empty as well, right? Then create a function which will save this nodes. So create a new function with the name of save node function save node. Then navigation, what we will do when we press the save button, we will navigate back the data into the view node screen. So navigation dot state dot params dot add node. This is the function that will be, well, we will create later on the view node screen. So just add this, we will add node function into the view node screen later on. Title comma note value, right? Then navigation dot go back. Now here we will have this icon button. Before that, let's design all the styles first. We have this container, then we have title container. We need an icon button which will save the newly created note. So create icon button. Here we will set the background color of this button to be green color. Right. Then I want this button to be above the main screen, like Fable, the floating action button. So we will set its position to be absolute. Then right 0, top to be 40, then margin to be 10, right? Then we have this title. The font size for this title should be 24 with the margin bottom to be 16. Then we have text. To be 300 with font size to be 16. Then we will add this Fable button position to be absolute. '20, right 0, then bottom 0 as well, right? Okay, now let's add the view components. So first we have a icon button, which will be above the header of the navigation bar, so which will use to close this model add node screen, right? So we need to add this icon button, which will be rounded and shape. So add icon button, import it first. So icon, here icon button with icon equals close. Then we have the size, let it be 25. Then we have color, white. Then on press of this button, we want to navigate it back. So navigate, navigation dot go back. Then the style for this button to be styles dot icon button. Right, save this file. Then we have text input, which will be for the title text of the note. So view, inside this view we will add text input, label equals add note title here, then value would be title. Outline, it will add underline button within this text input. So text equals set note title. Then we have to set the style. So styles dot title, right? Now we have to add text input for the description. So let's add that. Text input, add note description. Then we have the value note description. Then on change text we have set note description, then mode equals flat, right? I want this to be multi-line, so pass it multi-line true. Then style equals styles dot text. Then we have scrolled enable, since it will be multi-line text view, so I want it with the scroll, so scroll enabled equals true. Then we have return key of the keyboard to be done. Then we have blur on submit equals true, right? Then at the last we will have this floating action button, which will allow us to save this notes. So add this as well. Now fab style equals size dot fab. Then we have, I want this button to be small in size. The icon equals to check. I want this button to be disabled when have title is empty, when the title is empty. So note title is equals to, we are adding the ternary operator here. So true if it's empty, then true, disable true, else false. Right? Then on press button, okay, then on press prop we will perform on save. On save note. Now save all these files and remove this view. Save this file, remove these empty spaces, save this file. Now if we save these files and run the project, you will see the updated add note screen. So click on add a note, new note. You can see here we have this icon, we have this button if it's empty, if it gets enabled when it's we added a text. If we remove this add note title here, it will disabled again, right? Now go to the view node screen. Here we will add use state from React. Then we will add this navigation prop here. Then what we need to do, we need to create a use state variable for nodes. So we will show this these nodes array into the our flat list. So constant to nodes comma nodes equals, initially these nodes would be the empty screen. So initializing nodes with an empty array. Then let's create a add node function. So here we will create a helper method with the name of add nodes. So constant add node node. nodes length plus 1. We are just creating a random ID. Then set nodes, whatever in the nodes, then add node object, a new node object. What it will do, it will get all the nodes in the array, then in the node state, then add another new object of the node into this nodes state, right? Save this file. Now we need to add a flat list into the view node screen, so import it from the React Native. So import flat list, then also import this list from the React Native paper. Right, now start implementing for the for this flat list here in this render function. So what we will do, we have this style container, we have this view container, add nodes dot length equals 0. Then we will return this view. Right, if then we will return a flat list, right? Now create a flat list. Here we have data, so data would be nodes. Then we have this render item. Inside this random item, we need to pass item prop. Then let's create the view for the item. So we have a list dot item. Inside this list item, we will have title, item dot note title. Then we have this description, item dot note description. Then we have description, number of lines, it's 1. Then we have title style equals styles dot list title. We will add this style later on. Then we have key extractor equals item equals item dot id dot toString. Now save this file. Now here in the onPress method of the uh, floating action button, we will pass a data which will be add note. What we are doing, we are passing the add note function as the prop, right? Now okay, what we are getting closed, then this add note comma, open the braces. Okay, okay, I mean, okay. Now let's create the style for the list title. So here list title equals font size to be 20. Save this file and run the project. Okay, we are getting the error here. So list title, what's it saying? Okay, save this file and run the project again. Add note 1, then note description, press return, click on text. Okay, note value, okay, we might add here a wrong variable. Okay, this would be a note description, right? Save this file and run the project again. Note 1, then note description, press return. Okay, now to fix this issue, go to the add note screen here, and in the on the save note function we have this function called add note. From the view note screen we have view notes here, so we need to add s in the add notes. So let's add s here, then save this file. One more thing, we mistakenly add small letter I. You need to add capital I here because it's an item which we import here from here, right? List.item, so it should be in capital I. Now save this file and run it again. Add a note, give a note 1, then note description. As you will see, note 1 with the title, note 1, right? So the note description was not coming up. It was because we have item dot node description, because we added a node description here, not the nodes description. So just remove this as from here. Now save this file and run. You will see the node description. Note 1, description, press return, then press this check mark. You will see note 1 with the note 1 description. We will add another note, note 2 description. As you can see, note 1, note 2 added here, right? Now create a new directory inside this source directory with the name of context. Inside this context directory, create a new file with the name of create data context.js. Here start implementing import react, use deducer from react, then export default reducer actions default value, constant context react dot create context, then constant provider equals children, then constant bonds actions, then we have for let key in actions, bound actions key equals actions key, then we have dispatch, right? Now return context dot provider value equals state bounds actions. Okay, why it's showing red? Okay, value equals, okay, then we have children, right? Then return context and provider. Now create a new file with the name of nodes contact.js. It will have add node and delete node. So let's implementing the node context file. Import create data context from create data context, then export constant to add note equals, let's go note, then we have export constant delete note equals delete underscore note, constant initial state equals empty array, constant note reducer state equals initial state into actions. Here we have a such statement, action dot type case. We will handle the first add note case. So add note, here return state, then add action dot payload, which will be a new note to add on the previous state, which will be like we have all the nodes, list of nodes, then add a new node into that list, right? So action dot payload, then we have the case for delete node, then return state filter node, here node dot id equals to action dot payload. Here what I am doing, I am returning, I am basically filtering out the array of the node by checking if I have the ID of the node that I want to delete is not equals uh, to the object in the array, right? So it will give me the complete new array without that particular note I want to delete, right? Basically it's filtering out. Then we have the case for default, we will return the state, right? Now we have an action which would be an add node equals dispatch async, passing the node that we want to add into the state, into the list of the nodes, right? Here then dispatch type add node comma payload to return node. Then we have the action for delete, so type delete node equals dispatch async id, dispatch type delete node to payload of id. Here we will return the id that we want to delete of a node. Then it will check here if it not matches with the id. If it matches with the id, it will not add into the node list, else it will add all the node into the list which is not equals to that particular id we want to delete, right? Then at the bottom, export constant. Here we have provider comma context equals create data context. Then inside of this, pass the node reducer. Then add node and delete node, right? Now save this file. Go to the app.js file. Here import provider as node provider from source, then context, then node context, right? Then comment this out the paper provider. Let's remove this, and now add node provider here. Save this file. The view node screen. Here import context as node context from context node context, right? Then import this use state nodes and set nodes. Here constant state comma add node delete node from use context. So we have to import it from the react use context to node context, right? Then we have the state. We won't be using this set nodes. Here we will add node, pass the parameter of the node, then inside of this list flat list item or the list item, inside this list item we have on press equals. So whenever we press on the item of the node, we will delete that node, right? So delete node with the item.id, right? Here pass the state. Now save this file. Right, what I did, I saved all these files and run the project. What I found, I had a lot of typos in this create data context. So let's fix these. typos. So here inside this constant state comma dispatch equals use reducer, inside this reducer comma default value. Then I have the typo for this bound action. So bound action, now save this file and run again. Okay, what else? Okay, okay, then instead of round braces we will use curly braces. Okay, now go to the view nodes. Here we would be using a nodes here. So okay, okay, here we will use state, because in state we have the all the list for the nodes, right? Again save and run. Now our project is running successfully. Now click on add node. Here we will add a node 1. Okay, we successfully added a node. Now added the node 2 here. Node 2, node 2 description. Save this file. We successfully added the node 2. Now when I tap on the node 2, it's deleted, right? So we have completed the simple node taking app using the React context API. Now thank you for watching UA Studios. If you like this tutorial, please subscribe to UA Studios by clicking at the bottom right corner of your screen. Thank you.